Hey guys, welcome back to TomGirl Tuesday. We have a very sweet episode for you here today. I'm with the actress and pastry chef, Ashley Arpel Greenwald. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
A little fun summer song. This is Ashley's favorite song to get us in the mood.
Of all time.
And why do you love it so much, you said?
Because it's so happy. It's so happy. If you're happy and you listen to it, it keeps you happy. And if you're sad, it lifts your spirits.
Mm-hmm. And you seem like you're like a very happy, bright person. Would you pretty much say that?
I hope I seem that way. Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I hope so.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love being here every time.
Yeah, we'll have you back more and more and more. Yeah. All right, well, you have some big news coming out because you have a new movie coming out. So first, I want to start right off with that tonight. So it's called Destined to Ride. Mm-hmm. And tell me about your role in this film for you.
Sure. It's such a heartwarming film. It's family friendly. It's for everyone. Destined to Ride, it's about a young, without giving too much away, because I was told I can't do that.
Just a little bit.
It's pretty much just about a young girl. She's 17. She has one more year of high school, and then she goes off to college. And it's her just trials and tribulations getting through the summer, away from her friends, away from her father, staying with her aunt, who's played by Denise Richards, the lovely and talented Denise Richards. And it's just how she sort of rises and becomes herself.
And Joey Lawrence is the father, right?
Yes. He's hysterical. He is... He's the funniest guy. I mean, he was so sweet from the first day to the last. Actually, funny story. We were shooting the last scene, and we, of course, as you know, we don't go in order. But we were filming the last scene, and we were all standing in a circle, and we were like talking, and that was part of the scene. And Denise goes, "Ashley, move to the left. The sun will hit you better and you'll be in the shot more." And I was like, "You've got it." Thank you.
Tips from Denise. Yeah.
I know, and you take them when they're from Denise Richards. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take
it. So how was your role for you on this film?
It was great. It actually brought me back to childhood a little bit. I was a cheerleader and a gymnast. I play a cheerleader in this, my role, Tammy Tilson. A little ditzy. So I don't know if I should say that brings me back to childhood, because I don't think that I was that ditzy on purpose. But it was great. I mean, we were surrounded by horses most of the time. And it was so much fun. We had a blast, but we did film in like 110-degree weather. So props to everyone. Our director, Anna Elizabeth James, she is, first of all, she wrote and directed the film. So talk about girl power. She is it. She is everything. And she was on it. I mean, we were sweating. And as actors, we were so concerned. You know, we're like, oh, we're glistening. This is terrible. We're going to be shiny. And she was like, let's move it. Let's chug along. You got this. You guys are great. Come on, cheer. Let's go. She was everything and more. I cannot say any more. And then last night we had the premiere, and she looked so beautiful. She got bangs, you guys. Check out her Instagram. She looks really good.
Are you a horseback rider?
I'm not. No, not a horseback rider. I wasn't allowed to ride when I was a kid. I guess my parents thought that I'd be like bucked off. I did the pony thing, in a circle once. It was great. It was lovely. But then, when we were filming, I didn't ride a horse, but we were around them, and they're beautiful. I'd like to get into it at some point, but who knows?
Yeah. Oh, my grandpa had horses growing up, and they're all muscle. It's just so beautiful.
They're really beautiful. They really are, and their eyes are like huge almonds. It's cool.
So other than tips from Denise, what are some other things that you learned on the set?
Everything. I guess this goes for any set, but they rewrote some scenes and rewrote some lines right away. Like, we were in hair and makeup, and they were like, actually, you're going to say that. And we were like, oh, okay. So I guess, like every film, but this one specifically, memorization on the spot, get into it on the spot. And like I said, we were filming in such high heat that we, as much fun as it was, we were like, let's do this, guys. Come on, buckle down. Okay, get your lines right, the new ones. But it was great. I learned a lot on this set. Everyone was really wonderful. I mean, every single person involved.
And where were you shooting?
All around Los Angeles. So we were, we mostly stayed in LA or LA County, really. It was good.
How did the audition process for this movie go?
Oh my God, it's so funny. The audition process, 24 hours before my audition, I got the sides and I got a cheer that one of the PAs had put on a video for us. And there were 2 cheers actually. And one was like pretty simple. It was just like simple. The other one was like a 2-minute long routine with like steps and turns and twirls. And it was like, okay, yeah, I'm staying in tonight. I am learning this. And 24 hours later, after I received the sides and everything, I went into audition, messed up twice. So that is something. You can mess up and think that you did the worst job and still get the role, because I messed up not once, but twice. And then I finally got it, but I walked out and I was like, I messed up. I mean, I don't even want to call my agent and tell her what happened. This is a movie. Like, you know. And then the next morning, I got a call that I booked it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you tell people, how did you get through that moment when you messed up? Because I always like to hear things like that, you know, whether it was like a breakdown moment or you just kept plowing right through, or how did you handle that situation?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't really a breakdown moment. I've definitely had those in auditions where I'm like, you know what, can't do it. But this one was more, you know, I'm just going to go back to it. The writing was so fun and so exciting. I was like, okay, you know, and it kind of goes with the film. I was like, okay, you know what? I messed up. Excuse me, I'm going to take one more time. I'm going to start over. I did it again, messed up again. Then I was like, you know what? I know this. I've done this 7,000 times. One more time. Just give me one more time. I did it. They let me do it, which just says a lot about the casting office. And Anna, she was in the room. Anna, our director and writer, she was there. And I think that really says a lot about the whole production, that they let me do it again after messing up twice. I've had coaches, acting coaches, that have said, oh, you messed up. If you don't do it again perfectly the second time, you're out. And I wasn't out. I was in, and I got it. So
yeah.
That goes
I think sometimes when in the mess ups, people can see things, you know, like because your guard's down in that moment. And I think it is a lot how you like handle those situations.
And it's like a fight or flight kind of thing. You're like, okay, do I just give up and say, okay, well, thank you so much. Have a good day. Good job. Or do I say like, no, I know. And I knew I knew it. I mean, I knew that I knew this. So I really wanted to show that I could do it. And yeah.
Would you, I know you started talking about this, but so then the whole rest of the night, were you like beating yourself up thinking why did I, can you talk about that a little bit?
I was so sad. I called one of my best friends and I was like, what happened? I mean, you watched me do this cheer. I don't know what happened, but sometimes you can do it so many times and then you just, it's sort of like an ongoing thing, you know, you miss it once and you're like, oh my God, darn it, I missed it. But then you miss it twice and you're like, all right, come on, get it together, Greenwald. But that night was a rough one because I genuinely just thought it was one of those really sad moments where you're like, I really wanted this and I didn't get it. And I swear I could have gotten it.
And especially after you stayed in and you focused and you really tried to nail it after
Not that I go out a lot, but I didn't, and I stayed in, and I didn't watch any TV. I just buckled down. But yeah, it worked out in the end. I was eating a donut when I found out.
And what was the celebration? Finish the donut. What did you do? Who did you call?
Sidecar. I called my dad, called my mom, my brother, my grandma.
The whole fam.
I called everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you said you used to be a cheerleader. Did you have a favorite cheer back in the day?
No, well, our team wasn't great. So no, I did have a favorite floor routine for gymnastics. It was to the Harry Potter theme song, like the very first one. They're like, dun, 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 dun. I think they're playing Quidditch in the movie during that one. Side note, I am actually obsessed with Harry Potter. It's the way I live. But yeah,
Did you
that
go
was
to Universal?
Oh, did I? Did I
How many
go to
times have you
Universal?
gone? I guess I should
How many
ask.
times this week? Okay, Halloween is my favorite. But yeah, no, the floor was definitely my favorite. And then beam, but really floor, because you get to be really creative and dance. And
Did you happen to see the UCLA girl that just did the Michael Jackson? How awesome was that?
that was the coolest thing. She got a perfect score,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that happen. That was the coolest thing. And it made me want to like get up and like sing Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it was so good. Like
She was great.
Yeah.
She looked good too.
Yeah, it was great. All right, well, let's talk about briefly some of your other roles, because this isn't your first rodeo. So you were in a romantic drama, Adolescence.
Yeah. It's very romantic. It's very dramatic. Probably more so on the drama side than romance. It's not family friendly. It revolves around drugs and kind of the teenage scene, heroin scene, if you will, in Los Angeles. And the writer, Mickey River, he's the lead in it as well. And he brought some of his life into the actual film, which was great. And Ashley Arpel, she's a director. She was wonderful to work with. Again, it's just one of those things, I don't know, I have nothing bad to say about it. It was wonderful. I will say, there was one night we did a night shoot, and whoo, that was long. That was from like 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., so I guess not that long. It's about 11 hours, but still, come on. But it was great. It's a really great film. We were just bought. We actually filmed it 2 years ago. So I don't know what people have been doing, but yeah, we were just bought, so I'm really excited for that to be released.
Great. And then you were with Nicolas Cage in The Runner back in the day.
My first thing.
Yeah, that was your first one?
That was my first actual role. That was incredible. I mean, I know I keep saying I have nothing bad to say, but you know, it was so incredible. I got to go to New Orleans to film. I'd never been there. I haven't gone back. I want to so badly. It's beautiful. And the food is, my God, amazing. But Nick is the coolest guy. He was so cool. And he had so many fans. When we filmed one scene at a bar, and it was a closed set in the bar, but the bar was on a street in New Orleans, and everyone knows who he is. I mean, he's one of the most famous people in the world. He had fans around the block, and he greeted them all. It was so sweet. When they went, right when Austin, our director, Austin Stark, he also wrote it, he yelled, "Cut." Nick would just walk to them and say hi and shake their hands. It was wonderful to see.
Yeah. Have you had a favorite role so far in anything? It doesn't have to even be something that people have known about, but what are your kind of favorite acting roles that you love to get to play?
Well, honestly, I kind of do have to say The Runner was my favorite, just because it sort of, I learned so much having it be my first real, like, solidified experience, having lines in a film and having a role and being credited and flying somewhere to film it. So that's probably one of my favorites. And I just wrapped something called Splish Splash. I am, without giving too much away, because I literally finished filming it about a week and a half ago, but I play a very, very angry young lady in a fight with her boyfriend. And yeah, it's hysterical. And I have a lot of chutzpah in it.
Where does the splish splash come in?
My roommate is watching our fight from the bathtub. So she doesn't say anything the whole time, but we're fighting in the bathroom for the whole thing. That is the whole thing. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot. And you think what's so funny is that because it all takes place in there, for the days we were filming, we were wearing the same thing. She was wearing pasties, but we, like, my boyfriend and I, we were wearing the same thing all day, every day in filming. And you think it's so gross, you know, you would think you're like, God, this is so grimy, but no. Side note, they have extras.
Yeah. Let's talk about how you kind of got into this. So you're a New Yorker, right? And
Can you tell? I just said chutzpah.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Yeah, the motion. So when did you catch the bug? Tell us a little about your journey.
Honestly, it was never even a bug that I caught. It was sort of just, I don't know how it happened, but one day, don't even remember the day, I'm moving to LA. when I turn 18, I'm moving to LA. I'm an actor. I started auditioning when I was, I think, around 16. I mean, I went to acting schools. I went to acting camps. I took, every course that allowed children in and then teenagers in. And then I just knew. It was just, it's just one of those things where when you know, you know. And I just knew I was coming to LA when I turned 18.
How was it when you first got here? Was trouble settling in, or was it just like, you're off?
Not really, because I moved here and I started school. I went to American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and it wasn't difficult settling in because I was a student with other aspiring actors. I think the hardest part was after I graduated years later. I was like, wait, I'm not the star anymore. You go through school and, you're a freshman, you don't get anything. You're a sophomore, you don't get anything. Junior, once you reach the top level, like, you get the role, you get the lead, but that's not, unfortunately, in this profession, that's not how it works, So I was the big fish, and then all of a sudden, I was a guppy.
What did you do to get yourself out there and, get your agent, get your manager, and get these roles?
Stalking.
I heard you wrote letters for one role, right? I want to hear about that. I love stuff like that.
I did for the runner. I did. I did. How'd you hear that?
I listened to a past interview that you did. I got a letter, right?
Yeah, I stalked you. That was me at your window yesterday. No, I had met Austin Stark, the writer and director of The Runner, and he gave me his email. Now, that was his choice, okay? He gave me his email. So I really wanted to audition. I had maybe one credit to my name, and it was an indie, it was good. I was very happy with it, but I needed more to get in that room of a Nicolas Cage feature. So I emailed him. He didn't, he responded. He was really sweet. Emailed him again a week later. Responded, really sweet. Kept emailing him. I tried calling, but then I was like, this is too much. hang up, this is bad. Left one message. Emailed. Finally, I got the contact of the casting office. So I sent them a tape. I didn't go in for an audition. I went to a studio, filmed my audition, sent it in, and then got the role.
Did you, how did you get the sides, or what did you know you were auditioning?
Well, when I contacted the casting office, when I finally got their information, they sent me sides, but they sent me sides for someone older and just like me, just wasn't my role. But I was like, I want something. Give me anything. So I finally, I sent in the entire scene and then backwards too. Like the other character.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah. Well, I just wanted everything. And I did it in a New Orleans accent. Well, as much as I could. And also my regular one.
Did they ever tell you, like, had that persistent paid off, or how they chose you?
They didn't tell me how they chose me. They mostly were like, upon watching your audition, this role actually isn't the one for you, but this role is. So I already had the script. Austin had sent me the script a while back, so I'd read it. And they go, turn to page, we're rewriting a little bit, but that would be your role. And they were like, are you comfortable with that? And I was like, am I comfortable? Twist my arm. Yeah. Oh, no, this is the worst. Yeah, and it was great. It was, it was small, but it was the role of a lifetime. I mean, it got me here in the seat. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get you into more films and more things along the line. Yeah. Well, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about you also have another side to you as well as a pastry chef and an entrepreneur. So where did that come from?
I don't know. I mean, I've always loved cooking. I've always loved baking. I've always loved eating. I'm from New York, so pizza and chicken parm were just a staple in my household. But the baking thing, it sort of started where it was after The Runner. I had booked The Runner. I went to New Orleans to film. And then, you come from such a big project and then nothing. It's silent. And you're like, well, now what? I mean, I want to keep auditioning, but it's summertime. Nothing's happening. And you're sad. Mm-hmm. So sort of to get my frustrations out, I was baking a lot. But then one morning I woke up with just a plethora of baked goods in my apartment. I mean, I'm talking like 24 muffins here, a cake there, 3 pies in the corner. I mean, it was obscene. I invited all of my friends over. We devoured it all. And and one of them was just like, you should try selling this. Okay, whatever. That's ridiculous. A few weeks later, I was by my pool, and I overheard my neighbor talking about a party she was having. I had never met her before in my life. I walked up to her. I asked her. I said, "Hi. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to eavesdrop." Yes, I did. I heard you're having a party. I was wondering if you had a caterer yet. And she said, "No." And I said, "Well, great. I'm a caterer." I didn't have a business card. I took her number, took her email, emailed her. And that's how it started. From there, I started off as catering, and then I sort of morphed my way into the online bakery scene.
I think we have a few. You may have already been shown. Juliet may have already been shown, but yeah, we have some of your shots of your there's one cake. I had the name of it. It was the cereal killer cake. It's actually cereal. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
There
that
it is.
one.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what else? I see some Fruit Loop or some Fruity Pebbles, right?
Yeah, there's actually 5 cereals in that. So the cake, the batter, I actually soak the milk I use for the batter in Frosted Flakes. I know, it's crazy. And then I also sometimes do it with Captain Crunch. It depends on the person. And then I blend it all. So I soak it, then blend it, put it into the batter, bake it. So that is that's 1 or 2 cereals, depending. Then the top, there's Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, Captain Crunch, and Lucky Charms. So all in all, there are 5 types of cereal in that cake.
And how did you start creating that one? Did you just start throwing a bunch of stuff together? And
Yeah, it was sort of like a puttanesca cake, if you will. It morphed into itself. I didn't want to just create something I had created before. I love funfetti cakes. I love vanilla. I love chocolate. But I wanted something more with more pizzazz. And so I just thought, well, I love cereal. What if I tried it? Tried it out. The first time I made it into a muffin, so there was no frosting. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's pretty good. Okay, I'll guinea pig it out. And I gave it to a few people. They said, oh yeah, that's really good. I'd really like it if there was something more on it, like a glaze. And I was like, you got it. And then that's where the cake came from. And the colors, that was just me being whimsical and crazy.
And then how have you kind of grown this business? 'Cause I know you have your own Instagram, that's Ashley's Kitchen, and then I saw a couple videos on YouTube as well.
Well, the videos are the tutorials. I love doing them. They're so much fun. But really how I've grown is it's been a lot of word of mouth. It's been a lot of trial and error. I mean, it's also one of those businesses, it's so entrepreneurial that breaking into it is really difficult. Like acting. I mean, I walked up and down blocks handing out cookies to toy stores, to party stores, party supply stores, even just some cafes too. There was a place in North Hollywood that they were the first people to sign up. And yeah, word of mouth is great, but I think social media is probably my biggest platform. When people direct message you and place an order, I don't know why, but for some reason that feels that's so gratifying. Wow, you took the time to go to my Instagram, search through, customize something. I don't know. It's so, yeah, social media is huge.
Is it a good release from the acting for you as well?
Definitely. I will say that I am a bit of a perfectionist, so sometimes it's a release, but it's also very stressful. I mean, I've remade a batch of cupcakes 3 times once just because I couldn't get the exact swirl of the frosting to go. But it's definitely a release. I mean, it's go to the gym or eat and bake a cupcake. I'm gonna do the cupcake.
Do you have a favorite good bakery good to make?
I do. To eat or to make?
Both.
Okay. Okay. To bake, I think right now my raspberry lavender cupcakes. They're just different and they're fun. They're really fun, and I like to decorate them and I can draw little things on them. Once I get the exact swirl, I can do so much with that. So those are probably my most fun to bake and to eat. You know what? It's that funfetti cake that you had the picture of. That was my birthday cake that I made.
That's cool. The shot.
Yeah, no, I loved that.
I thought the wedding cake looked pretty too. What was in that one?
That was tangerine. That was tangerine. That wedding cake.
Super pretty.
Wait, how long do you think it took to make that?
You're asking somebody who does not cook at all. Me, it would take me all day.
It does take all. No, it took all day.
Oh.
That's 3 layers of cake, and then frosting. I mean, you could technically say there were, 3 layers of frosting on top. It took about over 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think, you know what? That was the first wedding cake I'd ever been commissioned to make, and from research, it takes that amount of time and then some.
Probably why a lot of them are so as expensive as they are.
Yes, that one. That one is. That's a. For lack of a better pun, that's a top tier cake.
Good one. Dun-dun-dun.
I'm gonna. That was bad.
Very good. All right, let's switch gears one more time here. I want to talk a little bit about, because you have this such like spunky flair to you. I want to talk about your fashion go-tos. We have a couple like red carpet pics of you, and yeah, I just want to talk about how you put together your red carpet look, or if there's certain styles you go to. I loved this blue one. I love that.
Thank you so much. That one was really funny because on the red carpet it kept slipping. So I was doing an interview and I was like, yeah, no, I'm so happy to be here. Is it cold? That one was great. That is actually from, it's called ASOS, ASOS. They have great stuff. And it arrived within 2 days, and it's wonderful. Oh my gosh! I call that the poof dress. So it looks like cotton candy.
It does.
Oh, I love that one. My style off of the red carpet. Oh, that one was fun.
That I liked that. I was like drinking a glass of wine. You got the leopard, right? Leopard and the red.
Thank you. Yeah, that one was fun. That was a good one. I love that skirt too. But that top is theory. They're one size fits all, and they do. I mean, it's really, really cool. They are just like, it's a really cool material. Oh, headshot.
And then, and then we were matching. Yeah, so we were matching today, right? Like,
yeah. I look exactly the same. No, that is. I don't even know what shirt that was from the shoot. I don't actually know what shirt that was, but this is actually from Urban Outfitters.
I love that store. I remember we didn't
love it.
Growing up in Nebraska, we didn't have a lot, and then my brother had an Urban Outfitters in Arizona. So whenever I would go visit him, I was always like, I have to stop at that store. Yeah.
I love Urban. I love their stuff. That shoot actually had a lot of Urban stuff, but
on your headshot shoot.
But I don't think that was Urban.
How would you describe your normal style?
I guess I would describe it. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm chic. I hope that I am, but I would say I'm more on the casual side. But having said that, dressing up for me is a treat. I love to dress up. So, I mean, jeans and a cute crop top, that's usually my go-to. And usually this type of neck, the high neck, I love that. I think it's very flattering and form-fitting. But dressing up, I mean, there's nothing like it. It's so fun. Look how fun.
Dressing up and that glass of wine and your cupcakes, all your just it all goes together, right?
Wine and chocolate is the best combo.
It is very good. I enjoy that myself.
Oh, good. Okay.
All right. We're going to, each week here, we do a TomGirl of the Week. I'm going to jump and do that real quick, and then we're going to come back and wrap up with some final thoughts with you. So this week, the TomGirl of the Week is Courtney Conlog, who just won the U.S. Open of Surfing in Huntington Beach. I love her. Her Instagram is amazing if you guys want to follow her. She won this after recovering from surgery, and she had been sidelined, so it was a big deal. But like, these are the kinds of things you see on her Instagram, where I don't know where she's bungee jumping off of. And then this past week, she just did a ride along with the police department out here. So she's just a badass chick who does all kinds of amazingly cool things and takes fun Instagram photos while at the same time winning the U.S. Open of Surfing. So she is our TomGirl of the Week.
Yeah, she's my, what is it? Woman crush.
Woman Crush Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's her.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah. All right, so before we wrap up, let's talk about just some of like your routine a little bit, like how you stay kind of in acting shape as far as if you are somebody who like do you have a vision board? Do you set goals? Like what are some of the tips and tools that you have used to get to where you are in your career?
Sure. I definitely set goals. I mean, I think I have technically a new goal every day. But I would say ultimately, I guess my entire apartment is my vision board. I'm this is going to sound ridiculous, but I mean, I have wanted a cooking show, I mean, for as long as I can remember. I mean, I opened up the bakery 3 years ago. So longer than that, I've wanted this. And I practice in the mirror a lot. Probably shouldn't have said that.
No, I think that's fine. You're working on it. You know?
And yeah, I mean, I'm always studying. I go to Stan Kirsch Studios and I work with Stan. I'm always just trying to learn and trying to gather, if you will. And I also think that every audition can be treated not like a class, but I mean, that's your time to perform. Someone wants you to perform for them. So I think just the more auditions I go on, or you as an actor goes on, the more comfortable you'll be.
And do you get nervous, or do you just go and treat it and can you have fun?
I definitely have fun, and I definitely get nervous, but something happens in between walking from the casting hallway into the room. I don't know, I mean, snap, and the nerves are there, but they're lower. You know, they start here and then they go down and they go down. And once you're in there, once you start, you know, the nerves are around, but they're not as prevalent. And I try not to drink. I'm a big coffee drinker, but I can't drink coffee right before because then I'll get all jittery. But the nerves, I mean, I try not to think of them as nerves. I think of it as excitement. I'm so excited and happy and proud to be there. So, because when you're nervous, it's kind of like, oh, I'm so nervous, I just want this to be over with. And that's not it. I want to be in there as long as you'll have me. You know, I'll sleep on the couch.
For your goals for your cooking show, how do you envision your cooking show?
Right here. This is mine. Well, I kind of want it to be very whimsical, very colorful, very fun. I want to sort of be the host and cook and teach how to cook and bake, and interview as well. Sort of like Rachel Ray, but Ashley A.
Ooh,
Again, shouldn't have said that.
It's got a good ring to it. I can see it. If you're out there listening, she's ready for the show.
I can do it.
Yeah. And then any other advice that you would have, or things that you wish you would have known that would have saved you some time, or things for people starting out?
Wish I would have known. Probably I wish I would have I mean, like I mentioned before, there have been so many. When I first started auditioning, when I was in high school, when I messed up, I would say sorry. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can I start over? So I guess I wish I would have known back then just to own it. Yeah, oops, I messed up. I'm gonna take that back one more time. Thank you. I wish I would have known that. Having said that, this is gonna be cheesy, but everything is a learning experience. So I guess now I know, and I've had coach upon coach upon coach say, don't do that. Just keep going. Keep trucking along. So that's what I do.
Okay, love it. Well, I see lots of great things in your future, and I thank you so much for taking the time today. I know you do also have going to be part of a cooking book coming out that people can get.
Yes, you heard that. It's called Cook Outside the Lunchbox, and it's with Jill Steinbach and Harry Schwartz. And without giving too much away, it's very healthy. And that's all I'm allowed to say.
Okay. Yep.
But it's coming out soon, later this year, and it's going to be great and really fun. And it's Think Outside the Lunchbox, not Cook. Think Outside the Lunchbox. And it's really exciting. It's going to be good.
And then your movie comes out August 28th?
Yes,
Is that
the premiere was last night. You can actually order it now, though. If you go to on Amazon, on iTunes, you can get it right now. And I just saw it for the first time last night. You guys, it's so good. It is so good. Go watch it. It's so good.
After you're done watching right now, we're going to wrap it up. Then now you know what you can do for the rest of your Tuesday evening. Everybody can go watch.
Yeah, go watch it. I'm going to sing karaoke.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so
and
much.
Share everybody where they can follow you on Instagram or any social handles.
Right, yeah, Instagram, at ashley.arpel.greenwald. Yeah, if you just type in Ashley Arpel Greenwald, you'll find the dots.
All right, and you know where to follow us here at TomGirl TV, and we'll see you here again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.